Listen, but what the
Say again?
catcher is just the JoJo thing that lied on the TV.
Saurolosaurus. We will call it Saurolosaurus.
Bro,
Hey, I will not sit here.
That's where they keep the Woolworths free range chicken.
Say what? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Comedians Roast the Headlines. My name is tonight Pothole Mafia. I'm joined by Papa Dumple and Darth Victus and Tabu Bester Legal Counsel. It's a bit of a mouthful, and I'm eating biltong. In case you're wondering why I'm talking like this. Sorry.
You're the only person I know that can eat biltong, but it looks like you're chewing tobacco. You can't even do that right.
yeah.
I think Paul would be the expert on chewing tobacco.
Never done it in my life. Sorry.
What?
I have no idea.
Call
Never.
yourself a Texan.
Yeah.
Every Texan's tried it at least once.
Not me. No. No.
right.
I don't like the guys because they get the cup and then they're like into the cup and it's just no, it's nasty. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Comedians Roast the Headlines, a show where we search far and wide headlines from all over the world that make us go, say what? They're weird, they're odd, we don't know, and we sometimes make fun of them, have fun with them with you. Those of you that are watching live, I see all the comments coming in. Cameron Engelbrecht is here, one of 44 is here, Debbie Murray is here, Gavin Calmer, of course, the Mork Rock Show is here, and many others are also have joined us. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching, please become part of the live chats. I will sometimes pop your comments on if it's funny, and we'll share a laugh together.
That wasn't funny.
He's just saying hi, guys.
Yeah, but it's not
don't
funny.
be
He said
rude.
it was funny.
Don't be rude.
I'm just saying it's
Don't
not
be rude.
funny. It's like
Don't
not,
be rude.
he's breaking the rules.
We haven't really started the
Mork is
show.
really, Mork is really living into this whole Sif thing.
That's how they pronounce Sith in Brakpan. Sith.
Wait,
Sif.
that
I
gave
am
me an
Darth
idea.
30th.
There we go. I fixed his
Hey
name.
guys,
30th.
Darth Sith.
I'm evil, but I'm slow.
Very slow.
All
And
right.
demonetized.
We do have
I didn't use the fourth. I used momentum.
All right, we do have a jam-packed night of headlines, ladies and gentlemen, and we are. I mean, I promise you, as the night progresses, they just get more and more entertaining. So let's start with the least entertaining first, and then move.
Way to sell it, Joe. Way to sell it. All right.
I'm just saying that the first one is not
Joe's
exactly. I mean, the first one's funny. Don't get me wrong; it's funny. But it
Joe's
gets
working
better.
like this. If the watchers are willing to stay for the cock, it will be worth their while.
Exactly. Thank you,
Weeding out
Tabo
the
Bester's legal
weaklings.
counsel. I see why he hired you. All right, here we go,
I
ladies and
I
gentlemen.
was the quota higher.
Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Google. Sorry.
What?
There, here we
What
go.
did Google do?
All right,
Oh, yeah.
Bikini Barbershop making waves in Longabon.
Wait, hold on. Did she oil up her boobies?
I'm going to be honest. I've always had the argument that Langebaan is Brakpan at the beach, but my guys, nie yerder.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I wanted to
cold.
take a step
Yes.
back for a second because we have another guest joining us, and I'm very happy to have him on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Steenkop.
What's good? Rian Kruiwagen and and a younger Rian Kruiwagen and a very much older Rian Kruiwagen. fucking Rian Kruiwagen. This is like the multiverse of Rian Kruiwagen. I love
I just think I'm thinking Oba has a stroke because there's too many white people on the same screen.
I am.
He arrived for the wrong clan meeting.
Thanks for joining Oba King or Steenkop. Thank you so much for being with us. It's been a while. Even some of the hardcore fans that have been watching us for a while are like, Oba!
I know, guys. Don't get a full-time job. Don't work in advertising. Don't believe the hype. Don't come to Joburg. It's a shitty place. Look, none of my dreams have come true since I've been here, guys. Nothing.
You were so excited to go there.
Well, we'll put it like this. There's a reason why they used Johannesburg as the backdrop for District 9. It was more of a documentary than a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Well, Oba, you just joined us just in time because we are busy dealing with our first headline. And I'll repeat it for you because we literally just started. Let me just give me a second to pop you up here. 1 second. Who is he again? Oh, yeah, Steenkamp. There we go. All right. So the headline is Bikini Barbershop making waves in Langebaan.
In Langebaan.
Yeah, not Joburg.
Keeping it classy there in Langebaan. Yeah.
Employing single since 1985.
Yeah.
How far from the rock is this happening? I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
This is how you tell government that the SASSA grant is just not enough.
Yeah, no. Legends Barbershop. We need to open a branch of Legends Barbershop there, the Langebaan edition.
Well, let me just very quickly go through the article. I read it, and basically nothing naughty happens at the barbershop. The gimmick is that
Nothing.
The gimmick is that ladies are just dressed up in bikinis, and they cut your hair, men's hair.
That's what they said about OnlyFans when it started.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have this. That's in the States. They have these coffee houses. This little tiny shack that serves coffee, and you drive through, and there's like a lady in a bikini making the coffee.
That's why I started drinking coffee.
Well, the fact that the barbershop serves men and women, like they'll cut men's hair and they'll cut women's hair, but oddly, most of the clientele are men.
You think?
Well,
Strange.
It's probably fair to say that the clients come and go.
How about take a little bit of the top and down the bottom, please? Thank you.
Little manscaping.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was now thinking this barbershop is sponsored by Manscaped.
Landscape.
How are they doing in winter though?
Eh?
It's
How are
cold.
they
It's
doing
gotta
in
be.
winter?
They
Yeah.
sing
Well,
that
it's very
big
simple.
time that phase.
No, it depends. Depending on which head you're giving a cut, you have to be a bit more careful. It's a smaller area you have to work with now.
Also, guys in Cape Town aren't packing that much, so they don't have much to deal with. I'm just saying.
All right, so next headline, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. SA Army needs 700 million rand for new uniform rollout.
It's the government's way of saying they're overweight and they don't fit in their uniforms.
Basically, I was just about to say, how many Mabenas does it cost? How much money does it
I can see I can see the national budget meeting. Our army has grown from large to extra large, but like in numbers. No, not like that. But yes.
There's just more of them. Yeah. Listen, man, no camouflage will be able to hide those motherfuckers in any war. I don't care.
Well, it's just boots.
Wait a
Just like,
second.
looking for South African soldier. There is looking like Cocaine Bear. Like it's
So that's 700 million just for pairs of boots.
Well,
The whole uniform.
for one
And
jacket.
new
Understand.
camouflage.
yeah, this is the new uniform. This is the new one.
I just see boots though.
No, there's camouflage. You can't see it
Oh,
because it's
for
camouflage.
Of
So
course.
it's really
I was
difficult
like,
to
what?
see.
I just
but-
see the boots. Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's called John Cena camo.
Hold on. Do
Oh,
you guys,
that's why, obviously.
Do you guys want to hear the complaints of the previous uniform?
Oh, God, tell us.
Okay,
It's
so
a bit tight in the crotch, and then I just really liked the way that felt. It just felt like the lines were just not correct, and I just really felt like I just like my shoulders. Like, and who knows? I mean, these are so last century.
all right, so you're not. Oddly enough, Paul, it's like you read the article. Said that old camouflage uniform was heavy and bulky, which made it uncomfortable for soldiers to wear. He said the weight and bulk of the uniform also hampered movement, making it difficult for soldiers to move quickly and easily, especially during foot patrols. Because we all know how
That's the
difficult
first
foot
line.
patrols are.
That's the first line.
Move quickly.
I feel like that really disillusioned racist grandpa in front of the TV during an MP speech going, "They're lying. They're fucking lying. They don't go on foot patrols." The only place our army fucking deploys is outside of KFC.
Wow.
No, the new ones are more. They have that mix of spandex, so they're a little more stretchy, and it's really nice. Gives you more room, and yeah, it's nice. I know that's ridiculous. 700 million. Sorry, there's other priorities. There's other priorities.
Hold on, guys. It gets worse. Sorry, I was just reading this next part. Lack of funding. Ignore most of it until you hear or read this. It said the cost of rolling out new uniforms to all members is estimated to be 700 million rand. If the army wants to stock warehouses with uniforms so that members can exchange them after 2 or 3 years, the cost will increase to 2.1 billion rand.
Of course it will.
They should get that Shane company, Shine or whatever company, to make the uniforms. Those guys
Yes,
that are like.
why don't we? Yes, why don't we use multi-level marketing company for our uniforms? Why, let's make it more scammy.
Yeah,
I think that was the point. They're basically just flaunting the laundering of money in front of us. That's
literal
Putting
laundry,
out a ten,
actual
I'm
laundry.
literally putting in a tender for a tender.
Coralie Van Rooyen. I remember the name. I think I'm not sure. Are you new? I'm not sure if you are. Thank you so much for
No, she's
being
an
part of
old
the show.
viewer.
She look hot.
Thank you for remembering Talbot Bester Legal Counsel. That's why you are legal counsel. Thanks for joining again.
Counsel, is that what you said?
Well, that's his
Yes.
name on the show.
That's my
Talbot
name.
Bester Legal Counsel.
Oh shit! I was just like, wait. Wait, what?
That's what he does. Yes.
Yeah, while you've been gone, Obi King, Mikal's had like a huge career change. He's ditched cars and decided to become a legal eagle.
Yeah, I'm paying back my white guilt by representing those less fortunate.
But you saw what happened to one of Talbot Bester's legal counsel this week, though, right? He killed himself while driving.
Oh yeah,
Did you see that?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
did he hang himself?
The thing is,
No,
the thing is, Talbot Bester, my client can't afford being sued by Ford. Because he was actually driving a Ford Kuga when it happened, but we obviously the legal fees against some massive motor companies. So
Okay,
he was
moving on.
spinning some media shit.
Moving on. By the way, there's a lot of headlines that talk about money, so you guys are gonna feel sick by the end of this. 200,000 rand city blitz becomes South Africa's cheapest electric car. Mikhail, I'm so happy you are here because you're our car guy, and I really want to know.
That cheap? Can you like charge it with your wall socket in the house? Like, do I need a USB?
The joke's on you. You actually need electricity for that.
I feel like I just need to buy a USB cable, lightning cable, and just plug it in my socket. Good.
The thing is, it's a marketing fuck up. They call it an electric car, but it's actually a petrol car because how it works is when you buy the car, you get a petrol generator, and you put petrol in, and then you switch on the generator, and then you charge the car. So it's technically a hybrid, because we live in a fucked
All
country.
I wanna
that
know
wants
is-
to-
Well, wait. Have any of you guys seen the car? Besides
No,
Makai.
I've not seen the car. Show us the
It's
car.
ugly as shit.
All right.
If you were to put wheels on a Teletubby,
How do I explain this? Okay, I'm just gonna show it to you.
Show it,
I'm
show it.
sure a lot of your minds will go to what I'm thinking.
What the?
What
It looks like
told
it looks like one of those smart cars, but with a chromosome deficiency. Like,
it's a hybrid
It's like
between
a golf car.
Crocs and a smart car. Like,
Crocs, absolutely. Crocs.
Paul,
Crocs and smart
have you
cars.
just referred to it as a down smart? That is now what we are calling it.
Wow. Oh my word.
Who's gonna pay 200K for that shit?
200K. Oof. That is a golf
lot
cart.
of-
That is a golf
It's a
cart.
lot of
I'm
money
sorry.
for a toaster. Do you know what it actually looks like? If you paint it yellow and red, it's like those little tiny tots cars you get in the mall.
Yes.
yes,
That's exactly
That's it.
what I was going to say because I was
That's it.
getting this
That's the
image
point.
ready.
There we go.
Ah,
Little Tykes.
Exactly it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Available wherever Little Tykes are sold.
That's it. That thing.
There we
works
go.
for
Look.
Guys, Forward sponsored by Prince Andrew.
I'm telling you, dog, you see that car when you're on the highway and it gets stuck. All you have to do is put a 5 Rand coin in there. You're ready to go.
There's no way anybody should take that car on the highway like that. Just no.
Okay, but
no.
but hold on. Look at this. So it's 200,000 Rand for a 2-seater, 240,000 Rand for a 4-seater, 240,000 Rand as well for single cab pickup, and then there's 250,000 for a panel van.
It's a
Wow,
little
that's-
bucky, so you can have a little kid in car keys drive it.
No.
then-
You guys aren't ready for this.
No.
Oh.
Oh no! Oh, that's the panel van. Wow. That is like for the kidnapper with no shame. Like absolutely none. That was just wow.
Is that like a whiteboard at the back for a fucking?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's actually quite genius. The fact that you have a whiteboard, because it's an electric car, now you have a place to write down the load shedding times.
Yes.
So now you know when you can charge it.
Wow.
I don't think there's much
Jesus.
more to be said on this one. All right. Next headline, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a
Again,
real car.
here, more money. South Africa's 740,000 Rand app website uses 950 Rand template and admin for password.
I love this one. I sent this one in. So okay. So South Africa had this website that nobody used called Digitech because it was supposed to be an app store, like to compete against the Apple App Store and the Google App Store that would be all for apps that were created in South Africa. Okay, that was the idea in Africa. So that was the idea, but nobody used it because it didn't work. So they charged
Really?
740. Yeah. So they charged 740,000 Rand. Somebody charged them 740,000 Rand to create a new one, which also doesn't work. But
Surprise.
surprisingly, but it's built in Drupal. What if you know anything about open source stuff? It's yeah, and it's a terrible template. And then so this guy was like, "Hey, I wonder if it doesn't work. Maybe I could look. Oh, wait, this is Drupal." He figured out it was Drupal, so he tried to log in and he used the password, the username admin, password admin, and it worked. And he got in to the.
You know, you guys
I'm
remember
literally
that
going to
guy-
go check if that's the login for the government's bank account because I'm sure it is.
You guys remember that guy in Parliament that was like hong hong hong? I just feel like it's that kind of moment.
Let's have a soundbite of that.
Oh my
Hong
god!
hong.
Username admin. I should have put. I just should have used admin
Oh, wait.
as my name.
I do have it.
I was drinking.
You, that you
I was
electric car.
drinking.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that would be the perfect hooter for that electric car.
Yes.
Oh man. Okay. That's the first funny thing you've ever said. That's awesome.
Oh wow! Why are we
Ooh.
doing this? Why are we doing this? Don't do that.
No, that was great. That was great. That was great.
You should
I'm
use it
gonna
in
be honest,
your
I'm
like
gonna be honest,
stand-up.
I'm going to be honest. Barry Hilton's career has gone backwards if Paul's opening for him.
Oh
That's
shit!
mean. Okay, that's mean. That's not called for.
All right. Next headline, ladies and gentlemen. This one's a doozy. Joshua Dore, finance manager, jailed for creating credit applications for dead clients. You've got
just
an
trying to
uncle
help.
in the funeral business.
That's
Joshua.
the nephew.
Well, in
my
his
God.
in his defense, in the guy's defense, most people that buy a Joshua Doll are really, really close to dying in any case. So he just got ahead of the curve. That's
I mean, some people say the ancestors talked to them.
Lord is
So.
dead.
yeah, fair enough.
Uncle. Oh my gosh.
Wait, Paul,
Is
do
it
you
weird in
know
South
about
Africa to
Joshua Dore?
inherit furniture and dead?
No, I don't know anything about
So
Joshua. Dore.
Joshua Dore.
Back in the day, we didn't have any doors, so this guy started a company that just sells doors, and
Thank God.
now we've got doors in our houses. This is just before you came to South Africa. This is when this happened.
No. Here's the thing. Joshua Dore is actually South Africa's former president before he became president. P.W. Botha. Before he was in the furniture business. And he went by his maiden name, Joshua Dore. And then he decided for apartheid's sake he'll use Pagwota, and there we were.
Oh wow. It used to be Eugene Terblanche furniture, but now it's
Oba, you've now somehow managed to confuse PV Botha and Puk Botha. They were
Pagwota,
two
I know.
different fucking people.
Different people. I know. All of the people look the same.
I'm sorry, Oba. Mandela and O.R. Tambo look the fucking same.
Absolutely. Listen.
Wow.
This is the voice of Oliver Tambo. Oh, I'll whisper. Damn. What the fuck? That's Oliver Tambo.
Okay, now Madiba.
I don't know how Oliver Tambo sounds, so I can't do that. But
I can just do the. All I can do is the sign language part of the Mediba.
Oba, why don't you try and sell us a couch with your
I might.
Nigerian accent?
That's good.
Oh, Nigerian blade. Discount furniture, my brother.
Which couch is this? Is it a small boy couch or a big boy
It's
couch?
that couch from the looting.
Is it a small boy couch or a big boy couch? Me, I don't sit on no small boy couch. I'm a big man. I'm a big man. Huh?
Oh god.
Come here to my house and give me a midget couch. Huh? Huh? What is this? A midget couch? Is that real leather? Is that real? Is it from a real cow? I know you South Africans. You have this thing they call what is it? A Hong Kong. No, we need to have that. In Nigeria, we have real cows. You will not find them in Nigeria, but I promise you they are there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I can't. Okay, moving on.
I've done it in such a long time.
Oh,
Man, I should have actually asked him to do like a Nigerian version of Joshua Dore. That would have been great.
Oh, man. You've got an uncle in the furniture business. You got a big man in the furniture business.
Okay. All right.
You are Olomide door.
Listen, I've never seen Macau this happy. Oh, never mind.
whoa.
So happy he left.
Yeah, he couldn't take it. He had to leave.
All right. New 30 billion rand megacity for South Africa.
I know what they're going to call it.
Oh, no, that's called Waterfall, and they're busy building it right now. Next,
Oh,
New megacity.
where are
Why?
they having it?
City
Definitely called Waterfall. You see,
Gauteng. It's in your area. Obaki.
it's literally next door. You know, that's the thing about living where I live, dog. Like you get out the street and you see people with actual money right next to you. I feel like I live in Alex. I feel like the people in Alex that live next to Santon. That's how I feel.
Is it actually called? But they'll invest in the infrastructure for Mega River City. Like, is it only called Mega River City? That sounds like something from a bad like Zelda game or like Pokemon. I'm going over to
Judge
Mega
Dredd.
River City.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
It's terrible.
That sounds like an unsuccessful soccer team.
Mega River City. Oh yeah, I'm more of a
Basically.
Mega River United. More a fan of them.
Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like.
So 1 house and 7 million trees. That's lovely.
Nice.
Jesus.
How much do you guys want to bet that this will never be built?
Nothing will happen. Well, they'll build the soccer field.
No, just
They'll
in
build
the
the one soccer field, like with like some stands for like 40 people, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
It'll cost this much money too.
Yeah, but even this image doesn't make sense. I mean, you've got people playing soccer, but there's
With no
no
ball.
goal.
Or a ball.
There's no crowd.
It's a mock.
They're just running.
I don't know what's going on here.
And there's
Oh, Behave says, don't insult Zelda. This is a Pokemon dojo game.
yeah. Mega River City. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It's a Pokemon game name.
Okay. Not much to say except for 30 billion Rand going, well, to everything but that city. All
How are they
right,
going to
cool.
power it, though?
They're not.
Exactly. How are they going to power it?
Thoughts
Exactly.
and dreams.
So, water mafia sabotaging South Africa's infrastructure and raking in millions. I just bring this up because I did not know that there was a water mafia.
Oh,
Is
there's a
that
mafia.
guy from...
There's a bread mafia.
The
there's a
bread
water
mafia.
What?
If you look close, there's even a mafia for Ingram's camphor cream. There's no mafia.
I think there's a mafia. There's like
But I mean, shouldn't it be like water pirates, not like the mafia? Aren't like water people?
Water mafia sabotaging South Africa's infrastructure and raking millions.
Sounds like it sounds like a terrible plot for the third Avatar movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
it's a mashup. It's like Goodfellas meets Avatar. That sort of area that we're going for.
Underwater. It's like
Yeah.
it's like stupid shark movie with Will Smith.
Oh gosh, that was terrible. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
you got some nice water here. It'd be a shame if something
Yeah.
were to
Water.
happen to it.
Oh, it's the Sopranos meets Little Mermaid.
That's the Little Mermaid. Oh my gosh, that's the water mafia right
Sopranos
there.
meets Little Mermaid. That's what's going on.
I'm gonna give him a drink he can't refuse.
How does the water mafia work?
Turn on the taps. I don't know.
And then they pay them, or like how do they rig the water system? Like they own all the water.
It's easy. No one pisses for free.
It's a distribution thing. They allow distribution to certain areas in exchange for cash.
Yeah.
Ah.
So they also they bring in water via tankers to some places, and so they actually don't want the infrastructure to be repaired because it would take away their tanker business. So they now have this this perverse incentive to keep people screwed. And in fact, that some people have floated the idea, have floated the idea that the cholera outbreak is
See what you did there.
intentional because the guys, the water tanker guys that were delivering to Hammerscrawl, where the cholera outbreak was, got cut back, and right after that they started getting cholera.
So someone pooped in
We
the
are
water.
literally just. I love the fact that we are literally describing the plot for Mad Max Fury Road.
We're living the plot for Mad Max Fury Road. Living it.
You're gonna start seeing kids running around with chrome spray paint shouting, "Witness me!"
Paul, say this in a mafia accent.
Hey, pay up, or we shit in your reservoir. Okay, whatever. I don't think you can say reservoir in an Italian accent. I don't think that can, the Italian American, reservoir.
You've heard of Fat Tony. Now meet Float Tony.
Hey kid, what's brown and sticky? Yeah, it's in your dam. Okay, it's in your water.
Tony from Flint, we know all about dirty water.
I did not expect that.
Oh man.
About the dirty water business.
Apparently, I love the fact that Chris Tucker is now in the mafia.
Hey man, I know everything about dirty water, baby.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I gotta say. Chris Tucker in The Sopranos reboot.
All right, I'm just gonna show this one. City of Cape Town unveils Power Rangers to combat electricity load shedding vandals.
Oh wait.
Okay, let's see him. I want to see him.
I have a feeling I'm smelling toast.
Oh, the white Power Ranger's there. At least the white Power Ranger's there.
There's
see
one
him.
white one.
You mighty boring Power Ranger.
Wow.
They shall ride the JoJo tanks into battle.
Oh my god.
Everyone in there is like, oh god, they're calling us Power Rangers. Like everybody in that shot is like,
They absolutely
please
are
don't.
calling Power Rangers.
Oh my god.
Are they going to cut off the illegal power to all people who have illegal power, or just?
Yes.
I just hope they don't have to run to arrest anyone.
No, it looks like they look like they can run.
It's just the sweater,
Not the guy in the
Mikhail.
back.
No,
They are very fit.
Yo, Brownie.
Thank you.
Okay,
I had a brownie delivered to me. Sorry, thank everybody. Thank you.
we missed it.
No, you missed.
Child
Oh.
labor!
Oh,
Cancel this man! He's
What
using
is
child
that?
labor.
That's insane. Uber Eats doesn't even want to come inside my gate. All the way in the house.
This is better than Uber Eats.
Meet me at the door.
Yeah,
Like,
but
bitch, no.
more in Uber Eats defense that you did touch them in bad places
Wait,
when they got the pizza order wrong.
With regards to the Power Rangers, I want Mikhail to answer this question.
More into cholera.
My first. I call this my cholera power suit. And when they merge, they turn into a multi-plug.
Oh my word! All right, let's see. What do we have? Oh, okay. Sticking with ESCOM, or rather, sticking with power. ESCOM paid nearly 935,000 rand for knee pads
900.
This improperty.
Listen,
and 238,000 for a mop.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
well, you know, it
Welcome
wasn't
to
actually
South
a mop,
Africa.
eh?
We are the only country that has managed to decolonize electricity. I fucking don't know how, but we have.
It's a Lamborghini mop. Like seriously.
Dude,
Gold
that's like,
custard.
that's what you have to pay to look at a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Knee pads, though. Why do you need knee pads?
No.
How
what
many
happened
knee
is that-
pads?
No. Look at the price. Someone bought one of those shitty little electric cars for themselves, and they just mistitled it as mop.
Yeah. So how many knee pads are we talking about here, Joe? How many?
3.5.
That would make sense. I would totally believe that.
Because this is South Africa, somebody will have to steal the half. You know this.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to put out the tender to replace the half.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Eskom, Eskom paying R250,000 for a floor whiz pro with new and improved scrub brush.
But wait, there's more.
One knee pad supplier paid 4,025 rand and charged Eskom.
Inflation is a bitch. Your inflation is a fucker.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Well, but, I mean, do they not have like Google at Eskom? Can't they just go like, oh, this 900? That sounds like a lot, but like,
Because
let's
there's
just
not
quickly
fucking
see what a knee
electricity
pad
to
costs.
switch.
Fuck my
Isn't
life.
electricity to switch on the computer, my guy.
Yeah, like
In order to Google, you need computer. In order for computer to work, you need electricity. And that's the first step that we've already failed at.
a mop. A mop, not mops. A
That's
mop.
a
like
fucking
one
Gucci
mop.
And
Did you? Well, actually, you know what? It's if I'm correct, I think that's a Nimbus 2000 mop.
That's fair. 26 rand for a single ply of toilet paper. Dude, my guy, that's pandemic
Wow.
prices. That's not too unrealistic.
That's pandemic Woolworths prices.
Pandemic.
Some private school toilet paper.
This supplier admitted she overcharged Eskom. Really?
Wow, man.
What makes you think that?
no.
The other
really,
900
though.
the other 930,925 rand. Did that give you a hint?
No, that wasn't.
Miss Mathematics. Fucking master maths at its best.
All right.
Wow.
Someone was having a bad day. Human Settlements Minister Kubai, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, unlawfully
Kubai.
sacked deputy director after being stuck in a lift for an hour. So that was a pretty bad fart.
Oh, that was a lot of KFC.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
I know what I know what he said when when he sacked the deputy director. Goodbye. Stupid
I'm just amazed that the people in government are able to be fired. I didn't know that's. I thought it was a myth.
well, that's the thing. Is that they were fired and then they had to be put back
Yeah, because you can't fire anybody in government.
because you can actually fire them.
Yeah, no, they can't. They can't be fired.
But how bad was that
Fart.
elevator situation?
Well, I mean, I can only imagine.
Because
Maybe
you're
they
stuck.
thought it was the end of
You're
the-
stuck with someone in
got
an
to
elevator for an
repopulate
hour.
South Africa. Guy took his clothes off. He's like, we need to repopulate South Africa because everybody's dead. I don't know.
Where's this going, Mark? What the hell?
What? What? Like all of it that escalated really fast. Like what?
Yeah, but why would you fire somebody? They're like,
So-
take
so-
off their
so
clothes
I-
quickly. We've got to repopulate.
No, no, so,
like what?
so it wasn't. They did. She didn't fire the person that was like in the elevator with her. She fired the person that got her rescued from the elevator because she
What?
didn't do it fast enough. Yes.
Ah.
So she said the director gets in, or the minister gets into the elevator. It breaks down. It's just like right at like 5 o'clock when everybody's gone home. So because I read the story. So she gets in the elevator. It breaks down. She gets on a WhatsApp group and she says, we're in an elevator and it's broken down. The deputy director doesn't have her phone. So for a few minutes, she didn't answer. Then she does answer. She says, oh my gosh, okay. And so she gets the maintenance people, whatever, they come. And within an hour, or about an hour, the lady is rescued out of the elevator. Okay. The next morning, she calls the deputy director. The guy lady that was in the elevator calls the deputy director into her office and says she's fired. And she fired her because she didn't get her out of the elevator fast enough. Now,
Hey, in South African standards, that an hour is pretty fast.
that's dang good. I'd take that.
Sap.
The cops
Takes
don't even
longer
come
sometimes.
quickly.
That person can be fucking thankful because if she'd phoned the police, she would still be fucking stuck there.
She'd be a skeleton.
I just want to say hello
You'd never find her.
to someone who I haven't seen in a while. who has joined us
Your
again.
dad. Oh, it's not one of those.
Oh,
No, Tracy Wolf, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Tracy, for tuning in, as well as Slippery Pickle. And
You're
guys,
glad.
Matthew Dixon is in the house. We all know our resident troll.
Shame, yeah, dude. A lot of people have been banned off YouTube. That's why we're getting more people watching this.
Yeah, thanks.
Nothing else
thanks,
to
Mo.
watch.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming, guys.
we win by default. Okay. All right, cool. Next headline. Obi King, can you help me out with that one?
Mkulu Romeo to sue KFC for quota menu item. Do you guys know about the story?
No.
No.
Okay, so here's what happened. You know the quota, the South African quota, right? You're white people. It's debatable if you know what's happening.
no, I don't. I do
Is
not.
that like for quarter? Like,
No. There's a very big difference between a quarter and a quota.
oh, okay, yeah, that's
Okay.
what we're here
Yeah,
for.
no,
We're to get
Overking,
educated.
Overking, please need to explain this.
Teach
Otherwise,
us.
I'm just going to sit here and
Teach us.
blankly stare an MP at him.
Oh my God, this is the problem with this country. These silos that we live in, like Jan Krevas and that thing. Listen, so anyway, the whole thing is this, like a quota is basically like an African bunny chow. Let's just keep it at that.
Oh,
Okay.
So it's very popular in the townships where it's basically bread with like a lot of shit on it, chips and meat and eggs and whatever, and it's a delicacy in the hood. So nonetheless, this guy, I actually know him as a designer. He can be a bit of a prick, but anyway, he apparently pitched this idea to KFC like some years ago when they were trying to like diversify their menus and have locally inspired is blah 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 blah. And he claimed it was his idea in 2019. They never ran with it, and then fast forward to now, where they're now running with that idea, and he's claiming that he pitched it to them in 2019, and now they're using it in 2023. Basically, they took his idea and he wants money. Long and short of the story.
Okay, just quickly hold on there. You are in advertising and marketing.
Yeah,
You get paid to pitch ideas. That's the whole point.
I don't think
Obviously,
but
I'm.
it was one of those initiatives where you kind of trying to get a collaboration with a brand, and then you get into the room, something happens, you go back and forth, and they go like, no, we're not going to use this, and then five years later they use that exact same idea, which
yeah, they can't use it. It's it's intellectual property. Like you'll pitch, they'll invite you or you'll pitch or whatever, but if they don't buy into it, they can't use it. It's
No, they can't.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
remember,
Have to
if the
buy the
intellectual
IP.
property is not registered, then it's because your pitch, you need to, if it's intellectual property, still have to register it in some place. There needs to be, apart from just writing it down on a piece of paper. No, if you really want to have a lot of time with litigation, someone at some point is going to ask you, okay, it's great, you wrote it down on a fucking serviette, but is it you need to prove more than the fact that you just wrote it on a serviette.
Look,
For something to be proved to be intellectual property, there's a lot more paperwork for it.
the thing about this guy,
but
that he didn't invent the quota. The quota has been there for years on end. I think he probably came up, maybe he suggested the idea, but also again, like a quota is it's a South African delicacy, so it's a very difficult one because it's not that unique of an idea for somebody else not to think about.
Exactly. But I mean,
I don't
King, looking at this, is this what it's supposed to look like?
A quota is basically, this is what typically a quota would look like, just without the KFC. Maybe that replace the KFC with I don't know, dried meat and chicken and whatever. So basically, taking the quota exactly how
nice.
people prepare it, and then they just decided to put KFC in it. They're not doing anything special. They do KFC in something that already exists.
I'd eat it.
is it a sideways bunny chow?
Okay.
Is it like a sideways bunny chow? They tilt the bread in on the side and then.
Yeah, no, yeah. The Indians like it right side up, so the Africans like it side down. I don't know.
But I mean, technically, right? It is cultural appropriation.
Wait. So So the Indians have their bunny chow, right? But they cut off half of the loaf
They
or
cut it
whatever,
in half.
and you guys took the other half. We're like, hey, we can do something
No,
with
no, no,
this.
no, no.
Yeah, so
We
basically,
decided to cut it
you
in the middle, and
Yeah,
we're like,
you-
okay. No, basically, we just decided
Yeah.
to take a giant slice of bread, and then we just cut it in the middle and be like, and then empty
Oh,
out.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
all
so
right.
so the one you straddle and the other one is missionaries, basically.
Yeah.
So,
It's on
but
its
what I think is
side or on
interesting,
top.
I think that's interesting about this is that you talk about intellectual property. I mean, in the states at least, if you want something copyrighted, you don't have to actually like file for a copyright or anything, as long as it's fixed in a tangible format. Then it's can be yours. So if you wrote it on a serviette napkin, that could be fine. But
Be
and-
slightly
but
stricter here with that.
yeah, and that's fine. But one of the interesting things is that recipes cannot be copyrighted. By the way, it's impossible to copyright a recipe. So you can take any recipe from anybody and don't give them credit, don't give them credit, anything. There's no recipe can be copyrighted. So in the sense, this is almost a recipe. Like I get the idea that he's taking a South African thing and put it, but where he's going to have trouble, like you said, is because it's not his recipe or it's not his idea. It's his idea to
But-
put it in a KFC format.
Yeah, it's like it's like us. It's like
using the KFC in there and be like, instead of whatever types of meat that people use, we specifically use KFC meat, and that makes it like a KFC quota of some sort. But like,
Yeah, but I think it's a little different with this though, because how it works in advertising, he doesn't just mention. I'm like, not like it doesn't work like this. Where he picks up the phone and goes, "Listen, great idea. We're going to do like KFC quota." That's not how they send an entire proposal, which is like broken down. This is how they're going to shoot the ad. This is what it's going to look like. These are the menu items, and that is an entire presentation. And then they'll pitch that to the client. So that's written down. It's like now they can go, and we've had it before where a client will pitch music to a client, and then 5 years later they go like, "We're just going to use your music," and we're like, "Okay, cool. You have to pay for it." That's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, this was fascinating, and I did not expect this headline to get into such a legal debate.
Joe, you need to be thankful you're learning something for once.
Exactly, Joe.
But we're moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't assume he's not actually learning anything.
Yeah, I blanked out. After Obi King told me that you can put meat on it, I was like, cool, I like it, I'll eat it. Let's move on.
yes,
Joe just heard you can put meat on something.
anything that has to do with food, this motherfucker there.
All right, moving on.
Joe's like, it sounds amazing. It can give me a stroke. I'm in.
Yep. Former municipal official gets 6 years in jail for creating ghost workers and defrauding municipality.
He was working with the guy from Joshua Door. I'm calling it. They were related.
This is bullshit, though. I don't believe this for a second. People in government don't go to jail. They don't get fired. This is obviously fake news.
He must not have filled out the proper form or something. But other than that, like everything else is fine. Like
It was an administrative mistake.
Yeah,
of course.
And guys, if Robert Mugabe could get like corpses to vote for him, anything is possible.
That's also true. Well, this guy created ghost employees and using fictitious names to defraud the municipality.
Here's the thing, guys. Do you know like HR is rarely ever audited? Like they'll audit everyone from like your finance people, designers, everybody like that handles money and everything like that. But nobody audits, especially in these big companies. Nobody audits HR.
I know where he messed up though. He messed up because he created the workers. Okay, that's fine. He got them paid. That's fine, but he didn't have them join the ANC. And then that's where it all fell apart. That's where it all fell apart.
They couldn't actually vote.
They were getting
employees
worried
on the
because
ANC.
they saw political affiliation was in Inkatha Freedom Party, and then they got a bit upset.
All of the ghost employees can be struggle heroes. You are good.
The thing is, we actually need to have more ghost employees because when they strike, you won't fucking see them. It will be nice and quiet and fine.
Only reason this guy got caught was because he wasn't sharing with whoever's above him.
Yeah, that's actually probably more likely.
Yep. All right, next headline. But before we do, just wanted to show that comment quickly. Okay, next headline, ladies and gentlemen. We're going into international news now. Indian official suspended for draining dam to retrieve smartphone.
Sounds
Oh,
legit.
I dropped my phone.
I didn't know Indian people can't swim.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get you cancelled, Joe. What is the what in the Slumdog Millionaire?
That is now you know a guy's desperate to clear his browser history if he's willing to go that fucking far.
Tire Roser was drained of water to
No, no,
retrieve a
no, no, no.
smartphone.
This man was cheating on his wife. He was afraid that that somehow that phone is going to end up at wherever the fuck the wife is. It was like not a fuck.
He was a government
Dude, it's
food inspector.
My guy,
Exactly.
my guy, you are overthinking this.
Claiming
He
the phone
something-
had sensitive data. Obaking could be right.
No, my guy. Thing is, you're still
There is no way a
overthinking
man
this.
will
The
go
guy,
to get his phone back if it didn't have dick pics and pussy pics on it and nudes. This is
no.
was sent nudes.
We're going to bring out the South African here. He dropped the phone because he had some incriminating evidence from the water mafia.
Here we go.
It all comes together.
Yeah.
It took 3 days to pump out more than 2 million liters of water. Oh my word. Enough to irrigate at least 1,500 acres, only to find the phone too waterlogged to work.
Dude, didn't he watch the TikTok videos? Put it in a bowl of rice. He sorted.
Yeah, I mean, it's not China though, so
Well, the thing is, right? So they said it took 3 days to drain, right? It would have been so much quicker if he just got a scuba gear and dived himself.
No, they tried that first. I saw the
Did
article.
you
They tried
not-
that first.
Did you,
Oh, did they?
My
Did
man,
you not
this is in
hear-
India. Have you seen water in
Didn't
India?
you hear Mork? Mork just said he didn't know Indians can't swim. He literally answered your question earlier.
Kingfish brings up a good point. That's harsh. SA officials aren't even suspended for draining bank accounts.
ooh, shots fired.
And then Behave says, "What I want to know is what phone was it? Because if it can still work after being drowned, is a brilliant ad for the brand. Well, found out. it can't.
Nokia 3310, my guy.
It's still going.
5110.
Dude, I had a 5110. They were great.
All right. This next one was sent in by Paul, and yes, I'm naming him. Oops.
Naming him.
Intelligence officials say U.S. has retrieved craft of non-human origin. Paul, explain.
Dude, can we please stop with the electric car article now? Jesus.
No, so okay, so I mean, I don't know. This is in the category of big if true, okay? Because if true, biggest story in the history of the world, but probably not true. But if there's a guy, there's a division in the Air Force or something that works on resolving anomalous vehicles and things, UFOs. What they call them now, something else, something about anomalies or something. Anyway. This guy's been working there for a few years, and he is now officially a whistleblower to Congress, telling them that they've been lied to basically by all these different agencies that have some finger in this pie, and they said that they actually have. He says they have full intact craft of non-human origin. Pieces and full intact craft, and it's not just the United States, but multiple other countries around the world have these things. And he implies that some of the technical advances of the last 80 years, because it's about 80 years since they found the first one, some of the technical advances of the last 80 years have come from studying the alien vehicles. He is adamant. This guy checks out like on every level as far as like, he doesn't seem to be psychotic or any of that kind of stuff. Like he doesn't, he is a real legit worker guy in the he used to be in the Air Force. He was in Afghanistan. He's done a lot of stuff. Like,
Relax.
I'm not
Fox,
saying it's real.
relax,
I'm just saying.
Mulder. We
I just
convinced
got one
Fox
question.
Mulder. Relax. We want to believe.
Which episode of The Mandalorian was he watching?
No, but what kind of car was it? Like, obviously it's Hillary Clinton's car, but like, what is it, like a Chrysler or a?
Yeah, like a drop top.
You know, she wears
This
like
is
a
what-
human suit, or it's Mark Zuckerberg's car, that robot guy,
Yeah, he's definitely a robot steered by
or it's
aliens.
Bill Gates.
So yeah, I mean, so now everybody's like, okay, show us the vehicles, and of course the Pentagon and other people are saying they don't exist, and so Congress is demanding answers, and yeah, so we'll see where it goes from here. But
Okay.
it's definitely in the
Okay,
big
on a
if
slightly, on a slightly serious note, let's say for example, this is true. On the one hand, it's important, but on the other hand, it doesn't change or improve our daily lives to start off with.
I mean, it doesn't. Okay. Immediately, it doesn't change, but I mean, it in the sense of the whole like, are we alone question, which a lot of people have, that would answer the question.
And then,
I mean-
and then
But
there's
also-
another question. There's two more questions that arise. Secondly, why would a much more intelligent race that is able to travel the stars, something we can't do, we barely get past fucking Mars and we keep on crashing our fucking remote control cars on the fucking planet. Remember, the Earth is the Brachbun of the universe. Why the fuck would anyone want to stop here?
I can
and
I can
then-
answer that.
Make a great budget.
What, for the water?
No. See, because obviously aliens have been coming here for years, right? But there's one thing that all the aliens do that they have in common. If you look at all the people that tell the stories about what happens with alien encounters,
Yeah, they
The
go
aliens
to
are gay.
bikini barbershops.
Yeah,
No,
there's always
the aliens are-
there's always the anal
aliens are
probe.
gay.
There's always an anal probe
always
involved.
exactly. There's always an anal probe, so it's gay aliens.
It's a butt thing.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
secondly-
That's exactly,
and then
it's a butt
secondly-
thing.
So it's Pride Month.
No
so
other-
perfect timing.
No
I
other life
like
has
butt
ass.
Did we just take a topic, right? Aliens.
Yeah, I know.
And we
Even I'm
somehow
going, yeah.
walked into LGBTQ A+ community. We linked
No, we
it
didn't.
somehow.
No, we didn't.
And then here's
Did
the-
we, did we do that?
Okay.
Is that what's
no.
happening?
Hey, listen,
And then,
we're not
here's the-
abducting
here's the-
people.
What is
And then
this?
here's
Like
the
the,
second.
the NASA division
Yeah,
for
it-
foreign butt plugs. What's going on?
How much would ESCOM pay
Yeah,
for
but
that?
it's called. It's not. It's NASA, but you take away the N.
Oh wow.
Asset.
Yeah. Okay, and then
Yo, we just
here's the
started a whole
second
new
terrorist-
conspiracy, guys.
Yeah, and then here's the second scary thought. If they do exist and they are able to travel from further than Vanderbijl Park to come and drop by here, that would basically make them the Spanish and us the Aztecs. And let's ask the Aztecs how the fuck that worked out for them when people with much superior technology arrived at their place.
Maybe we have a peace treaty. I don't know. All right.
No one wants to make peace with us. We can't even do it amongst our fucking selves.
All right. Next headline, ladies and gentlemen. It was crazy, says California kayaker who was engulfed in a whale's mouth.
Dude, you can't say that, eh?
Deep throat.
That I was just about to
Listen,
say.
Let's
that's not cool,
see
Joe.
the video.
Deep throat.
There's a video?
Yeah.
The kayaker went to the barber shop in Langebaan.
Scroll down there. It's right there.
Yoga and the
There we go.
whale. This is what's going on here.
Some viewers may find the following footage distressing.
Nom 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 nom.
Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Nothing's
Oh,
happening. Nothing's
Okay,
happening.
just
nothing's
don't
happening.
worry. Something will happen, Joe. Gosh, how long is your span of attention?
Oh!
Something happened.
Oh!
Something happened.
Now, in the porn industry, we call that the money shot.
What the fuck?
I love the
Did
person
they
watching.
survive?
The person watching said exactly what we were all
Whale
thinking.
swallows.
The funny thing, I thought that was Joe saying that. That was the.
I was.
Yeah.
We said it at the exact same time. I was like, oh shit.
So did
That
they
is-
live?
That is
Yeah, they live.
insane.
One
Aw.
person less for the family reunion.
Wait, dude,
2 people. Actually, it was 2 people in a kayak. It was a two-person kayak.
Did we just watch Pinocchio live?
So
I can-
two guys with a kayak walk into a whale.
I can bet you on my bottom dollar that guy ain't black. That
And I'm
is
betting-
a headline of some white people shit. Out there getting swallowed by fucking whales.
Yeah.
Leave them the fuck alone in the water. Now just play with
Wait,
whales.
wait.
The other
To be
hand,
fair,
I'm
this
gonna-
guy was just
I'm gonna-
kayaking.
No, it was
He
2
wasn't
girls,
hunting
actually. It
them.
was 2 ladies.
Oh, it was
I
two
feel-
ladies.
I feel.
I don't care. Are they white? They're
I
definitely
feel.
white ladies.
I feel.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the whale though, because that's California. So now that after that incident, the whale has an oxy dependency.
Probably.
No, I mean,
Calification. The whale version.
but yeah, it's definitely 2 white ladies are like, you know what we should do? We should go out and we should look at whales. We should get really close. We
Wait,
should just keep-
are these them?
There they are. Yep.
Oh, they got absolutely Karen.
She called the whales manager to complain.
Oh shit.
Debbie.
Yes. Oh, Debbie, is it because the whale is black?
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduced you to Ku Klux Whale.
I think it was a right whale, so I think that's fascist.
Yeah,
and probably
very,
canceled.
very. I saw him. He was wearing a hood.
Love my puppet whale. Guys, I'm gonna have to jump off in like a little bit. I need to go back to do some work.
All right, cool. No worries. If you have to go, you have to go. Let's see.
I'll do like one more headline and then we can like I'll bounce.
All right. Well, you're staying for a nice one.
Cool, that's good.
All right. Here we go. Woke fried chicken, fast food chain at center of U.S. culture wars.
Wait, what?
What is the WFC?
Oh gosh.
Oh my god. That is a non-binary chicken that they eat in there.
Wait, hold on. So it's woke fried chicken. So it deep fried in
Yeah, yeah.
like the fat of woke people.
No, Mork, we only fry
fried
equal
identity
opportunity
politics.
chickens here.
My Mary for sandwiches, nuggets, milkshakes found itself on the receiving end of right-wing ire this week, accused
Ire.
of
Ire.
succumbing
Succumbing.
to woke ideology after conservatives customers realized the company employs a diversity, equity, and inclusion representative.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is Chick-fil-A. I mean, Chick-fil-A is like an American institution. It's like super. Okay. First of all, they make amazing chicken. Like makes KFC
they also-
look like
sorry, just-
nothing.
They were based though, weren't they, Paul?
Yeah, they're very. That's the thing is that's what everybody's upset about is the fact that they seem to be very based, and yet they are. And I don't really know that they actually done anything wrong. It's just that they hired somebody who's in charge of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is basically code for woke. So
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't want getting upset. They're employing the same fucking artist graduates like the rest of them.
I got that. Well, at the moment, America companies are that are embracing woke culture are not doing very well. The article also mentions Target and its recent clash with wokeness, as well as Bud Light, who also has been bleeding money and going on a
But
downward
Bud Light
spiral.
was doing that because of the shit beer to start off with.
Well, they were the number one American beer.
they've been terrible beer for a long time, and it hasn't been a problem. Like that's like, I don't know why.
The beer's always
I
been
love,
bad.
I love the fact that the Americans just accept, yeah, we have low standards in beer. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's piss, but it's our piss.
Yeah. Isn't that what Carling Black Label is? Isn't that Castle Light? Isn't that similar?
So I rebuke that statement. We made it together. Fucking Canadian. We took that Canadian recipe and be like, "Fuck you." I'm going to put
Okay, technically, Black Label's a Czech Republic recipe, but okay, we won't.
South African
Okay.
now. Nobody gives a shit. Like nobody in living memory remembers when Black Label was anything other than South African. We do
That's
not
right.
care.
It's decolonized Black Label now.
Is it good?
So, yeah.
All right, Oba King, stay for this one. Duluth, how do you pronounce this? Duluth landlord charged with intentionally setting apartment ablaze while blasting weed and starts the fire.
Yeah.
No, listen,
A standing ovation from Macau.
I bet the tenants in there they were going, the roof is on fire. The guy was going, the roof.
The roof on fire.
The roof is on fire. I know.
Let the motherfucker. Anyway, okay, yeah.
Billy Joel approves this news article.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to be opening for Billy Joel and all his tour dates coming in. Yeah.
Oh my word! I can't believe this is
gosh.
like you can't even like make this shit up.
I'm
As
sorry.
we-
This is absolutely. This is peak humanity. Fuck finding out aliens exist. Great Blink 182
No.
song, by the way.
This is the reason why
but-
aliens would turn around at this point.
Yeah. They're like,
I told
right.
you, Brahman of the universe.
I would give him even more credit if he was like karaokeing. I definitely started the fire. You know, and think, hold up. Come on, this is.
Did this guy plan this out? Like, did he want to do this? Because it says that he set his own apartment on fire.
Yeah, but this gets better. What I failed to mention is at some point you also started playing It's Getting Hot in Here when you realized that it was on fire.
Maybe they also they missed the first part where he went like, "Hi, I'm Travis Lee. Welcome to Jackass," and then he put the started the fire.
And then when all the firemen arrived, he started playing It's Raining Men.
hallelujah. Guys, I gotta go.
All right, man. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for tuning. Thanks for
Oba.
joining us. Cheers, man.
Peace, guys. Love.
Cheers, Oba.
Peace.
Oh man, that's funny.
That news article is absolutely class. It's also the perfect example of wait and hold my beer and check this out.
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean, it's one of those things. Like as a writer, like if you're writing in a newspaper, like that's what you live for, is to cover that kind of story. Like to be able to write that headline, that a guy blasted weed and started the fire. I mean, you would tell your kids about that. Like that's a fantastic thing.
Amazing.
Like you definitely like framing that and putting it on your wall. I think that's a fantastic.
The thing is, I believe all mankind is stupid, but every now and then we reach a legendary level of stupidity.
Okay.
That is legendary stupidity.
I want you to hold that thought, Mikhail, because stressed 40-year-old leaves job to be a professional daughter for 11,000 rand.
Dude, it's called OnlyFans. Relax.
What?
That's what everyone does on OnlyFans.
A professional daughter? I don't know.
No, this is
They're all professional. They're all professional daughters with daddy issues on OnlyFans.
They also refer to, and I've seen this article. They also refer to her as a stay-at-home daughter.
Yes.
And
What?
you got to understand. For parents of kids of a certain age, that is the most terrifying thing you could possibly imagine. That your daughter would just be like, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm not gonna go.
No, you're not.
And what's even more, I don't know if this is scary or not scary. She's 40 years old. Like I don't know if it's worse if she was younger or older.
Obviously
It's
older.
all bad. It's all bad.
It is all bad.
Younger's easier. Like if she's 5 and you're like, "Fuck off," and she's like, "No, I don't want to. I'm gonna stay at home." You're like, "No, fine, stay."
Often
But like,
40. No.
The thing is, every now and then, eugenics had a point.
Every now and then. Yeah. Okay.
Every now and then.
Every now and then, eugenics had a point where you go, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't really get wrong. Weeding out the stupid.
I mean, the only thing is that
fun.
the only thing is that they've sort of formalized an arrangement that unfortunately a lot of people have. Like I mean, she's
Yeah.
actually She's literally getting paid by her parents out of their retirement to stay home and take care of them.
I mean,
but a lot of people, they're not getting paid, but that's just what they do. They just stay home and play video games.
But I mean, is sort of, but again, in that sort of structure of it, is like somebody comes, say, like for example, you got fired from your job, blah 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 blah, and you go like, "Hey, mom and dad, like, I need to move back in." But it's not really that. That's like, "Hey, listen, I don't want to do shit. I just want to be a daughter again."
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, that's the whole point. If you're falling on tough times and because you can say what you want, but our parents technically were in a better financial position in most cases to buy a home and whatnot. So if you really fall on tough times and you have a fallback just to get back on your feet again, to move in with your parents, I go, okay, yeah, it's fine. It's not permanent. Let the person just sort out their lives. Could be going through bad divorce or terrible whatever.
No, exactly.
That makes sense. But a person going, because based on this, the person has already gone, well, for the however long I've been sponging off my parents to start off with, I'm just going to continue doing this by giving it a title. Basically, you've just become a worse parasite than you were beforehand.
Yeah.
No, but it's just like, I think it's the inversion of society. It's like, it's, like back in the day, when people fell on tough times, they'd do like hardcore jobs, like I don't know, prostitution, something like that. You wouldn't be like you wouldn't be, for example, Paris Hilton going like, you know what, I'm going to do prostitution just for the fun of it. But that's where we live in now. It's like, you know what, I'm just going to start OnlyFans. But you're rich. Yeah, but I want to be famous too. It's an inversion. It's like society's absolutely screwed.
It's technically more of a perversion than an inversion, if we have to be honest.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, let's look at this next headline. That's a bit crazy. So apparently, a passenger, opens a plane door mid-flight.
Oh, I saw this.
Air gushed through the cabin. That's all you really see.
Dude, wow. I'm gonna be honest. If you fly SAA, you can expect the fucking aircon not to work. I would pop a window as well.
That's crazy.
Was Tom Cruise on that flight? Like, he wasn't shooting like the next Mission Impossible? Or...
No.
Can I ask a question? Because I'm just been distracted for at least two headlines here, because I'm trying to figure out what is on the back, what picture is behind Michael. Is that Marge Simpson porno? What nude is that? Is that look like from here? I can't tell what that is.
That looks like a Marge Simpson Picasso.
Yes, a Marge Simpson
Picasso.
Picasso.
Basically, long story short, this was my wife's first art project when I think she was like 6 or 7. And then her parents had it framed, and it had been in the main house. And then obviously when we moved in our place, it came with. So her parents framed it as like a lovely old keepsake, a nice memory.
Yeah.
And it came with us.
From this distance, with the pixelation and everything, it's like you can't tell what's happening there at all. So the mind, of course, went to Marge Simpson and Picasso.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Fair enough. No, we're just so used to it because it's one of those like decor that we have in our place. It's her first art project, and the parents-in-law were like very sweet and sentimental about it. So
I love it. Okay. I had a mystery. Okay,
Thanks, Paul, for that enlightening conversation. All right, Kentucky man allegedly shot roommate in buttocks after he ate.
Dude, this is justified.
It's
justified.
Absolutely.
Dude, if you eat my last hot pocket, I will fucking shoot you, my guy.
Oh man, this is justifiable.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
Again, no, dude, that was self-defense, my guy. I'm putting it in self-defense. Claude, done and dusted.
Self-defense.
Yeah. No. I mean, I think. I mean, but I would still love to hear the guy talk about it. Like he ate the last hot pocket.
No, hold on. Do it. No. Paul, do that again. But when I now.
Yeah, he ate the last hot pocket. He had to go. Dang it! I popped him right in the buttocks.
The thing is, it reminds me of that scene with Forrest Gump when he meets Richard Nixon because he got shot in the arse. Like, It's a $1 million wound.
Shut up.
I haven't gotten the money yet.
No, but those
On an
guys up in Kentucky, that's the way they take their hot pockets real seriously. That's the real stuff.
On an
right
interesting
there.
note, while we're talking about being shot in the ass, the actor James Garner, that was in Space Cowboys and actually one of my favorite TV shows from the 70s,
Rockford
the
Files.
Rockford Files.
Yeah.
Yep. He received 2 Purple Hearts while serving in Korea. Both for being shot in the ass. Both for being shot in the ass by friendly fire.
Wow.
Well, there you
What are
go.
the odds?
Yeah. Okay, wait. So
And both were from airstrikes. They had called the airstrike, and then the fucking pilots got the coordinates wrong, and they obviously dove for cover. And in both
So-
cases, he got shot in the ass for that.
some
Wow.
viewers who are watching might remember a headline we had a few weeks ago where there was a woman who married a rag doll. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys?
Oh yes. Oh god.
So Morg was. I don't know if Paul was with us on that
I was
episode.
not on that show.
So there's a
he
woman.
wasn't on that
I forget where in the world, but
Netherlands or
she's
something.
La La Land.
she's married a rag doll. I'm not even
Lapland.
kidding. I'm not even kidding. Like she's legit married this thing. Okay, and
It's quite a yarn.
yeah. And see- so some I can see some of the viewers are remembering right now. Oh yes. So there's a follow-up headline.
No.
Believe it or not.
No, fuck me.
I saw it
seen
on
this
the
headline.
WhatsApp group.
I
I'm like, no.
couldn't even read it. I just went,
can't be.
bye.
Woman who hit headlines after marrying a ragdoll claims her partner has cheated on her again, leaving her so upset she removed his penis.
Wait, what did this happen in like the 80s? Didn't this happen where the lady cut off her guy's? Okay,
I don't know,
never
it's
mind.
so-
It was dissolved.
What was the name of those people? Anyway, okay.
No,
yeah.
this is the
Wow.
same lady. This is it, Paul.
Oh my gosh!
They have kids.
Wow, is that like
Rap-
a Ned Flanders ragdoll? Like what?
Yeah.
Basically, what's happened is Chester Missing has fallen on hard times, and
Wow.
now he's making ends meet.
What,
Hey,
Chester
luckily she
Missing,
could just-
clapping those cheeks.
what
I mean, she
happened
could
to
just sew it back on.
the ragdoll penis? What happened to the ragdoll penis?
No, Mork,
Like,
what happened?
oh my gosh, there he is.
Mork, to explain now, what happens is she cut off his penis. Now she leaves him on the couch and forces him to watch when she uses only his penis.
Oh god, no.
I don't know what this is supposed to be.
What
It's
the
medically
heck?
referred to as a chop and change.
What?
See,
Well,
back in the day,
she
we had ways of
revealed
solving this.
his penis is just a white rubber dildo, which measures about 16 centimeters, which she takes off when they go out. Okay.
So
She
so
literally
just
has
didn't
his
take it
balls
off.
in her handbag.
Now she's cut it off.
Wow.
She literally has his balls in her handbag.
But I don't understand. What's the
Wait.
difference?
Wait. She
I'm gonna be honest, I
claims
actually feel sorry for the ragdoll.
she claims that the rag doll has over 500 contacts in his WhatsApp, all of which are women.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I want to continue reading.
No, but like you know what we used to do back in the day. We just go like, there's a little knitting needle, and we would just go like, we just put it here, and we just go ding ding ding, and then she'd be happy, and there wouldn't be problems. We wouldn't be having to read
Oh
this
my God.
absolute
Wait.
dribble.
Wait. So she announced
you
last.
remember that?
Hold on. She announced last summer that she had welcomed her third child with her ragdoll husband, just as the pair returned home
She's a
from their
ragdoll
honeymoon
hoarder.
in Rio de
How is she allowed to drive or buy things?
Mork, you remember that statement I made about eugenics had it right every now and then? It's one of those now and thens again.
Wait, this gets better, guys. It comes after she had launched a desperate bid to find their ragdoll child after he was kidnapped.
Oh, fuck off. She forgot him in the wash.
Oh my
The captors
I
were
don't know.
demanding 161 pounds for its release.
A very specific amount.
I don't know what's worse: the fact that she believes this has happened, or that this publication wrote these words down.
The problem with this story, man, is this, Paul. This is what happened last time. The more we read, the more crazier it gets.
Oh my gosh!
Like you think, okay, this is the craziness is done now.
Yeah, it's gotta be. No.
Wait.
But the thing is, let's be honest. If you actually knew someone like that, just knew, I'm not saying friend or acquaintance, you just knew someone, wouldn't you also use the opportunity just to fuck with them? Like kidnapping her ragdoll child for, I don't know, enough money to go to a movie? Wouldn't you?
Oh, guys.
Okay.
She got a picture.
Of a picture of what? What is happening?
She received a video of her ragdoll being held hostage.
A proof of life photo.
And I think those are cocaine bricks next to him. I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh!
Shit, it was Bevan.
Oh my!
Oh, for
That's-
sakes.
That's elaborate. Like that's a massive, like psychotic break she's having that is causing that. I mean, this is wow.
No. It gets worse. It
insanity.
gets worse.
No, it can't get worse, Joe. It can't get worse. Stop telling me it gets worse because it can't get worse.
Listen. She said, "There's part of me worried that they will set him on fire. I can't sleep. Marcelo, her husband, is up all night calling out his son's name. Diego and Carl are sad because they can't understand where their brother is." Revealing she is terrified, she said the stress and worry is all too much. The faces.
No. But read down. She added, "I just love him so much. I'm left here thinking: Are they giving him a bath? Are they giving him clean milk?
Are they taking good care of him?
Clean milk? Like doesn't like dirty milk? I'm just very confused.
And deep down, my mother's intuition is telling me he's fine, but I just don't know what is happening.
Lady, you put him in the thing and took a picture of it. How do you not know what's happening? You built an elaborate set and you created this thing, and then you put the rag doll in there, which you made.
I'm still going. I'm going to go with the idea that acquaintances of hers were fucking with her.
Right?
Because I would, if I knew someone that did that, I would hide the kid in the washing machine, threaten to, I don't know, unthread it. If she doesn't pay the money, I'll turn him into slippers.
Guys, there's more.
No, Joe.
No,
She put up missing posters.
this is like a very, very marked ad for deficiency. But wait, there's more.
She actually put up missing posters. And look, she's comforting. She says here, has previously shared photos of herself sleeping side by side with her son, showing their close mother-son bond.
No, dude, that's fucked up. The kid is sleeping under the same material he's made of. This is some fucking Hannibal Lecter shit.
Oh my gosh.
And it gets worse. No, I'm kidding.
No,
That's the end. That's the end.
Thank God.
I can't take it. I can't take it.
Although she did say this. She gave birth in just 35 minutes at home with a doctor and nurse on site while live streaming the event to an audience of 200 people.
So she gets more people to watch her give birth to a rag doll than we get for this show. Pff, I quit. Next week, I'll give birth to a rag doll.
Listen, I'm surprised she got so low views, but then again, I guess a lot of people don't want to watch crazy. Okay, like we're not crazy.
But who hires the doctor and the nurse? And the doctor and the nurse, like, oh yeah, sure, we'll go watch you give birth to a rag doll. Sure, absolutely, why not?
Listen, man.
I've got nothing else to do on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, like if she's paying me like $1 million to pretend to be a doctor and do whatever,
She wouldn't pay.
okay.
She wouldn't pay $161 in ransom or pounds in ransom for her doll, right? You know, so I don't think she has that kind of money.
Okay,
So
fine. I'll charge her £160. It will meet her budget.
I want to see what some of you guys are saying about this
I'll
headline.
myself for this opportunity.
I want to see what some of the comments coming through are saying before we go on to our last headline. Gavin says she's pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. That's a good one. The rag doll looks like MJ mixed with Freddy Krueger.
yeah,
Yes, that's a good one.
fair.
I dye that rag doll orange like Trump.
It's huge.
It's kind of fun.
Ragdoll's huge.
Ransom's pick. He lost of his powder.
Oh, the cocaine and stuff.
Yeah, my heart breaks
Yeah.
for that poor rag doll.
Yeah, that's more like
The lady needs intense rehab. Those dolls may be possessed with demons. This is so fucked up. For the demon.
yeah.
Man. Summer. So let's see. Definitely, her son looks just like his dad. The unibrow. Some of you guys playing along, I guess. But anyway,
Wow.
now it's time for our last headline. You guys seem quite tired after that one.
I weep for humanity at this point. I'm like, I welcome our alien overlords, like, or AI
welcome
overlords
our-
or whatever.
I welcome an asteroid after that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We deserve
Just
it.
end it
honestly.
already.
Yeah,
I want to go the way the dinosaurs did.
exactly. It would be a mercy. It would be a mercy for a killing if it was just if we was struck. That's
Children,
Okay,
the
well,
word of the day is
this
eugenics.
maybe I should have left the ragdoll then for the last headline, but let's just go ahead with this one. It's another ragdoll story. No, I'm kidding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I caught my wife and dad cheating via the baby monitor, and now they're having twins.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that is worse.
because these are actual people, not rag people. Okay.
Yeah. But they're going to come out with the same. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, let's apparently let's end the show on a Brockbon note. Thank you.
And we're getting back to Kentucky too. That's a kind of a Kentucky kind of thing to do. What the? What
It's called
the
the
hell?
Arkansas. It's called the Arkansas Shuffle.
Wait. So what? Wait. So the wife. I caught my wife and my dad cheating, and
Yeah,
now
so
they're
the
having
husband.
twins. So what does that make the twins to the guy
Oh,
that got
good
cheated on?
Lord.
To the husband. The
That-
An
husband.
abomination and a divorce.
They're like his brother and sister or whatever.
Yeah, step
And-
brother.
Technically,
And his
his
stepchildren.
half brothers and his half children.
Kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
that's all kinds
Where,
of.
where
fucked up.
did this happen?
Where?
Where? Yeah.
Yeah,
Where?
where did it happen?
Alabama,
No. They got standards in Alabama.
Georgia.
South
South
Wales.
Wales.
I'm not
Ah,
sure.
Not
of
trying to be
course.
funny or anything.
On the
but-
other hand, were the sheep busy?
That reminds me of a joke. Do you guys want to hear a joke?
Yes.
Okay. There's a farmer, and the guy says, hey, can I talk to your horse? And the farmer says, horse can't talk. And he says, "Hey, horse, how you doing?" And the horse says, "I'm doing fine, thank you." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, the horse talked." And he says, "Yeah." He said, "How does this farmer treat you well?" "Yeah, he treats me very well. He just gives me oats. He does all kinds of things. Oh, it's great. Oh, that's fantastic." He says, "Farmer, can I talk to your cow?" And he says, "Cow don't talk." And he says, "Hey, cow, how's it going?" He says, "Hey, it's going great." He's like, "Oh my gosh, the cow talks. That's amazing." And he says, "Is the farmer treating you well?" He says, "Yeah, he lets it out and we have fresh grass and we have the whole thing. It's great." And he says, "Can I talk to your sheep?" And he says, "That sheep is a liar." Anyway,
To add to that was a very short lame joke about how does an Australian find a sheep in a field. Absolutely satisfying.
So South Wales is the center of the failure of humanity. That's apparently.
You are saying that someone doing that has failed more than the person married to a ragdoll with 3 ragdoll children. Dude, your
I'm not going to
standards
say
are so
more.
much different.
I'm not going to say. I mean, that's like saying one possum's cuter than another. They're all pretty hideous. Okay, so it's really, it's there are levels. I think of, but yeah, no, that's awful.
I think we can all agree the pandemic did not take enough or the right type of people.
Joe's still reading the article, trying to find a good side.
No, they also went into it. So here we go. So here's where it gets confusing. Stephanie's twins will be Fuller's half siblings, and their daughter Willow will be their half sister and their niece. His dad Darren will be Willow's grandfather and stepfather.
His dad will be his grandfather. Okay, and stepfather. Wow.
What?
Oh.
Jerry.
Paul, I think you would agree that's a very awkward Thanksgiving dinner.
That's unbelievable.
Well, someone was definitely giving.
What are we all thankful for today, kids?
I'm thankful that I have the normal amount of eyes.
Oh my word!
Wow. That's okay. Okay, I'm doing pretty good in life, man. I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our headline portion of the evening. Do you guys want to sit and chat, or do we have to go?
Oh, usually the idea is we do the headlines and then we just continue talking shit, but with no particular topic in mind.
Yeah, I got no topic in mind. We'll just chat for just under 30 minutes. For those of you who want to stay tuned and chat with us, you're more than welcome to give us questions if you have anything about everything, or anything about everything about anything, something like that. And yeah, I think we had a pretty good discussion earlier on a headline, and I can't remember what that headline was, nor can I remember the discussion, so that doesn't help.
Aliens.
It was probably about the alien life.
Aliens.
Do you guys want to revisit that, or have we concluded that conversation?
Why are they so into anal?
Let's not revisit.
Why would you travel light years to just probe someone?
You know what?
It's weird.
Mark, I'm not an alien, so I can't answer and speak on behalf of aliens. I'm sorry.
Then again, that begs the question: what's Hollywood doing with sort of this whole vibe?
No, more it's simple. They come all the aliens that come here that do the probing are incels on their own planet.
Okay.
So this is like the planetary version of like the worst part of like Amsterdam or something, right? So they're just
basically.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the red light district of the universe.
Yeah. Even a ragdoll gets
only happens.
Even a ragdoll.
Wait. Do you think aliens? Do you think aliens at some point were like, "Geez, guys, the stuff they do on Earth, like, can you believe it? Like, a father had an affair with this guy's wife."
So like we're like the interplanetary Florida Man. That's so
That's
Florida Man.
We are literally the Brock bun
Yeah.
of the universe.
Yeah, I can
Who
see
made
it.
the Spanish conquistador / Aztecs correlation earlier? Comparison with
Me.
It was
aliens.
Paul.
Yeah, it was Mikhail. Yeah.
Mikhail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, it would probably be the same, right? Because aliens would get here and they'd like just like the conquistadors, they'll look at us going like, "Jesus, why are we sacrificing so many babies?" And then like they used to, we're like, "Oh, they're still sacrificing children for climate. It's weird. Let's try and help them." And then in 50 years from now, they'll be super racist and cancelled everywhere. So I feel sorry for the aliens. They shouldn't come here.
Behave wants to know what washing powder is Ragdoll mom using? Because getting bloodstains out of material is a pain.
You said
Power
use cold
O2.
water. Just
Power
cold
O2.
water. It's a power O2. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. That's what it-
I like how you
Or
guys
else
know
failed.
this. Yeah, that Ragdoll story, man.
Oh, it's gosh.
Why? Why?
The level of insanity is just, and nobody's
The thing-
stopping
the
it.
thing- Yeah, that's the thing. That's the point I wanted to know about now myself. Is the fact that it's more upsetting. Not only this, but various other things where it's fine for us to look at it and laugh at it from a distance, but no one is actually just stopping it,
Right. No.
and
no,
not
I
just
get you. I get it.
it's people are going, no, it's fine. It's the same way with for example, people going and going, I identify as an Arctic fox. You fucking can't, my guy, because biology, because fucking science says you can't.
Right. Right.
But it's
But-
fine. It's
but
we-
absolutely fine.
Let's also remember, right, that the article said that Ragdoll cheated on his wife twice. Second time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like this has happened before.
Yeah.
She's making up all this stuff. Like, here's
Yeah.
the thing. I thought women wanted to be in loving relationships. This woman has the ability to give herself the most phenomenal relationship she's ever had, and she chooses for the man to be an asshole.
So then it's not about the relationship.
I'm just giving
about
food for
being-
thought.
Yeah, but it's not. Like, the only reason she's doing this is because the article's being published. I mean, that's the honest truth about it. It's just like,
No,
it's just somebody who wants to be famous.
there's a level of
nothing more to
clicks,
it.
yeah.
She's not doing this. If no one knows about this, she's not going to be doing this. She's not sitting
If
at home alone, actually doing this shit. I can't believe that.
If only there were some, I don't know, like equivalent of some other behaviors that are in society that where people are performatively doing things that we all know and they know and we know aren't real, and this delusional activity, but somehow gains them credibility, clicks, sponsorships of things. If only there was some equivalent that we could draw.
What could it be?
Aliens.
I don't know. Yes, probably that. No, but it's
Ask
but
Bud
it's
Light. Ask Bud Light.
thing is-
They know.
Yeah. The thing that I find extremely just. Okay, those known me long enough to know that I have no faith in humanity to start off with. Everyone is stupid. Everyone is greedy until proven otherwise.
Emotional damage.
That's what that article calls. We the one thing that might have come out of the 21st century that might be some good is that I do agree that when it comes to mental health issues, there needs to be more focus, and we actually need to be slightly more educated. But you have a case of, at the one hand, we all preach mental health and mental stability, and people need to be afforded help, and then at the same time, you have a person with these issues, and we go, let's watch. So,
Yeah.
pick a side, my guy. You want to actually
Yeah.
help people, or you're just
Yeah.
shouting it to defend the fact that you want to sit and actually watch
Yeah.
mental deficiencies continue?
Yeah, but at some
Um,
point, some of the mental illnesses become. You watch it for research. How far can this go?
I just don't want to think it's research. I mean, I think there's a voyeuristic, thing
Yeah.
to it. I mean, obviously we're laughing, but at the same point, this is painful. Like that, this person. I mean, all that joking aside, is legitimately delusional and
Yeah.
needs help. And in today's world, probably won't get it. She will get affirmed rather than help. And we're talking about a lot of people that are in the same kind of boat. And so it actually it's deflating and it's sad and it's depressing. Um, so yeah, I don't know how to. Do you want to watch it or do you want to help? And I think if you watch it, you can't help. If you're watching, you're not helping because yes, that's not what she needs at this point. Sorry, getting
Yeah, because
deeper,
it's,
but,
Well, if I'm honest,
obviously-
Papa Dumple just speak words of wisdom.
The thing is, I'm going to add to that. Basically, okay, I'm going to use a very niche example, but it's going to come across hopefully. Manchester United has a player called Jadon Sancho, and our current manager of the club had taken him out from first team football for 3 months because he had a mental breakdown. And obviously, the end result of that was not being able to perform on the football pitch, and it became evidently clear. It wasn't just a football player having a slump, there was more to it. So, on the one hand, we applaud someone that goes, regardless of the fact that this is an athlete and gets paid millions and millions, he's still a human being. And for his mental health purposes, I have taken him out and put him in an environment where he can get healthy. Not only so he can perform on the football pitch, but he can actually perform as a human being. On the
Right.
one hand, we go and we applaud that. And we go, that's great. It's great to see in sport that it's easy to bitch and moan, they get paid millions, why can't they cope with it? But sometimes it gets too much, and someone's actually making an effort to have healthy people, not just healthy athletes in a physical sense. And on the other hand, we have this where, yeah, as Paul said, we watch it with very painful and morbid fascination, but no one's doing anything about it. We preach and we praise on the one hand, and then we gawk and watch on the other hand. You need to pick a lane. You can't decide you can't decide this mental illness or mental instability needs to be looked at and help, and this one, yeah, we're not going to touch it because it's comedic and fun.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny.
but at
The
the
one
same
you can
time,
argue-
like it's human nature, isn't it? I mean, we've been doing this for eons. I mean, think back to before TV was around. When I'm talking like way back when, like in I don't know when there was those carnivals that would travel across the country, and they always had like small people and people with defects and would say weird things or do weird things, and people by the masses would come and pay money to watch because human beings like to watch sad things. It's true.
But what changed?
Nothing changed. We still like to watch
I
sad
think
things.
TikTok just
intersectionality happened.
weaponized it. Yeah.
Intersectionality happened.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
Yeah,
Intersectionality came. We're going like, well, we can't do that. You're being mean. Like everybody, it's not their fault. Everybody has right. Not that saying rights are wrong or anything like that, but intersectionality kicked in.
Yeah, but
And
it still happens.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
No. But I mean, like,
that's-
we normalized it. We went like, okay, cool. Well, you can't say this is something. There's something wrong with them. That's what I mean by intersectionality. Intersectionality popped in and went like, okay, cool. There's nothing wrong with somebody that's a midget. You're going, but yes, there is. It's a physical deformity. It's not. No one's saying it's nothing's wrong with it. That sometimes that happens. It's a mutation. But they're going like, oh, you can't call it a mutation. And then once you go down, when you spend 15 years of going down this road of going, well, we shouldn't say anything and leave it alone, and now we're getting to a point where, like, this article happens. Like, no one can say anything because the person saying something will go like, oh, well, that's mean. You should lose your job because you said something or laughed at it.
Yeah.
The thing is, the major problem. Sorry, Paul. The major problem is that it's so much easier to get upset on other people's behalf. I would have if let's take a very very more normalized situation. I think very few people have a problem. If people who are homosexual, for example, march for equal marriage rights, we can all go, okay, that's fine. We understand it
100%.
because about it's your sexual orientation. I think if you have a partner who loves you and supports you, and you do and goes vice versa, then that's fine, absolutely fine. But now you have someone who's heterosexual and most likely a fucking middle class housewife sitting in suburbia going, yeah, but you need to fight for these. We should. The main focus, I think, should be we should stop listening to people that get offended or protest on behalf of other fucking people. Listen to the actual people that are speaking out. Okay, obviously they are. For example, if you identify as a fucking earthworm, I'm not going to listen to you because jy's nie fucking lekker nie.
So source matters.
But I get what you're saying. But at the same point, that point that we have said, well, that's probably fine. But obviously this ragdoll lady is crazy or whatever, right? That point has moved, and it has moved dramatically in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but that is the problem because homosexuality can be still defended by science and psychology, and by history. The Spartans, the Greeks were raging homosexuals, and it was fine. It was normalized within the society. So there is a historic. Mork, it was very much accepted.
Yeah, it wasn't actually accepted. Well, no, it happened. In, like, for example, like the thing with they never considered it to, like, if you had this is the thing in the Greek times, right? If you had like a slave boy, like you were some rich master and you had a slave boy, and you would have sex with the slave boy, and you were a man, and they didn't consider that to be homosexuality. They actually, in their society, they did not consider that to be a form of being gay or homosexual. It was my property. It was like the whole. You must read some of the writings of. I can't remember now. But yeah, that happened, and from looking at it from this perspective, you're going, "Oh, that's super gay." It's like homosexual, but like from their point of view, they didn't consider it. It wasn't something they would talk about.
For example, historically, there's a history of it. There's a history.
100%.
There's a long history of it. But the thing is, now we've gone. From when we have something we can justify it through actually using science. We've gone to the point where we are justifying it by saying it's my feelings. No, you can't. There's no medical, psychological definition that will defend you identifying as a raccoon as being fine. There isn't.
But if there is, I mean, I'm with you, but I think that if you can devolve language to the point where it has no meaning, which is the way then you can say he feels like a raccoon, so he is a raccoon. Yeah. If you can say anybody, they ask what is a woman, it's anybody who feels like a woman. Yeah. Which is it's a nonsense statement. It doesn't actually define anything. But that's what I've seen people, and somebody just recently this week said that. Nina Turner said that. If anybody who's a woman that feels like a woman. So if I feel like a raccoon, or I feel like I'm married to a rag doll who happens to also cheat the 16-centimeter dildo, and has 500 women in its WhatsApp that you must have put there, by the way. But anyway. If I feel like that, then that's the truth. And so your basis on science and all that kind of stuff, it sounds great until they just say science isn't real and the words don't mean anything and we're just making it all up. So,
but here's the thing though. So the difference, like for example, it almost feels like it was 2-3 years ago. People could believe that, and we'd go, sure, you can believe whatever. You want to believe the Earth is flat, the Earth is hollow. You can believe that anything you want to. You can do that. Don't go for it. But that's not what's happening now. Now it's like, okay, the Earth is flat. No, it's not. I'm going. No, you say the Earth is flat. Bend the knee. Say the Earth is flat. Everybody's got to have the flat Earth logo in their company thing. Otherwise, it's hate. That's where we're at now. Yeah. It's like you have to believe along with me. And I'm going, I don't want to. And you're going, no, you have to. You have to. Otherwise, you're hateful.
Mm-hmm. The thing that I find extremely scary about this, and I'm going to slightly nerd out So there, I'm going to use a very niche reference now, but it actually makes sense. I've finished. I'm apart from loving Star Wars like Joe does. I'm a massive Warhammer 40,000 fan,
Ooh.
which is extremely fucking grimdark and terrifying. We are the only fan base that, if we could, we do not want to exist in the world of our fandom because it's fucking terrifying just to read about what goes on in Warhammer 40k. But the new book I started, the book starts off with saying that, long story short, the emperor of mankind had strove for the truth, which was science and logic, and since he is no longer there, it has devolved into superstition, religious dogma, um, essentially tyranny and fascism. And this discussion now going, I'm reading a book written by people in for a fan base that has made peace with this really grim dark reality that we all honestly say that if we had a wish from a genie, that's the last place we'd want to go. And now going, that that intro to a science fiction book is hitting a lot fucking harder than it should, because we have strived for logic and science, and this is coming from someone that was raised in Gierkerk and loves being raised in that and still church going. But the point is, I still have faith in science and logic, and I put a lot of faith in it. And we've somehow devolved into religious superstition and dogma, and our views are our views, and we technically have an inquisition, but our inquisition is the social media. That is the inquisition.
But it's, I think what's happened is that there's this like false idea that I think it's false. This idea that we have the science and then it could devolve into religious dogma. In reality, there's always going to be religion. We're spiritual people, so so you're always going
even
to be
wokeness is it can be considered a religion.
Exactly. So we enter into a realm of secular religion, and if COVID showed me anything, it was the science is a religion just as much as anything else. Because you have
when I say religious dogma, I'm not talking about the Catholic Church will come to power again. I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to a lot of people's superstitions evolves or devolves into.
Yeah, but that's what's happening now. That's what Paul says.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's turned into science, and everything else is actually turned around into the same area, because I don't know that there is an area that you can say isn't religion. So I think it all keeps coming back to that. So
hold on, I want to present a question here. Someone has Insidious Anti-Mason. Interesting name. We can choose not to answer it. We don't have to answer it. Change my mind. Homosexuality is a result of being exposed to at an early age when the brain. I'm skipping words because YouTube might get me in trouble. Blah blah blah. Who hasn't been exposed before the age of 13?
Ooh, this is a very, 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 very controversial topic.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to answer it. Don't have to give anything.
Because it's 2023. Because it's 2023, I respect your viewpoint, but if you look at cases in developing countries, so when I say developing countries, we used to, not anymore. But if you for example look at South Africa during the 90s, when we were still viewed as actually a developing country, for example, you have a lot of cases where people that identify as homosexual, and no problem with that whatsoever, grew up in extremely normal heterosexual homes with heterosexual marriages and whatnot. There is, from a neurological point of view, so now remember, now we're moving away from psychology, because even though I sometimes even joke psychology is a soft science, from a neurological point of view, the way the firing happens in the brain with regards to attraction in a homosexual individual, it fires different than a heterosexual individual. There's a different way that the brain reacts, and obviously the various neurons and the releases of chemicals and whatnot. So
listen, I think there is a possibility that people are born that way, and I think there's
Yeah,
a
you can have a
possibility
nature
that
versus nurture argument if you want to.
and I think there is. I think it's both. I think it's both. I think some people are born that way, and I think some people unfortunately went through some shit in their lives, and something happened. It's trauma. It's whatever. Blah blah blah. I think every individual case is different and must be treated as such. And at the same time, homosexuality doesn't bother me because I'm gonna maybe get in trouble for saying this, but fuck it. I like to think, I like to think that there are homosexual people. I don't even say pre-COVID, like just at it, like almost like it's gonna sound such like an oxymoron, but there's a conservative homosexual community. I've met a few of these people who don't even like what some of the LGBTQA plus community are doing. Right? They're like feel ashamed. They feel like this movement is setting us back. Right? And the point of me saying this is like, my point is, I don't have a problem with homosexuality. I don't have a problem with what you identify as. My issue is exactly, I think Mark said it, is when you start trying to shove that shit down my throat. I will respect it until you start shoving it down my throat, saying that I have to be a certain way or I have to treat someone a certain way, blah, 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 blah. Hey, listen, if a transgender person robs me, I'm not going to be nice because they're transgender. I'm not. Like, you've now done something to me to harm me. I'm going to either get back at you or I'm going to put you in jail. That's just natural reaction. I'm not going to be like, oh, shame, he's a transgender or she's a transgender. Shame. I mean, I shouldn't do anything, Otherwise, if I do something, I'm going to be transphobic. Because that's the level of idiocy that we've gotten to, where somehow transgender people have a one-up on everybody else, a social currency that makes them better than, and you're not.
Oh, that's why I kind of agree exactly with what everybody's saying. It's become almost an orthodox. If you go and look at like the Spanish Inquisition, and you go and you sort of mirror that with what's happening now, it's
no
almost
one
like
expects the Spanish Inquisition.
No,
exactly. But I mean, like, they're literally there because like they would come around going like, you better believe in Christ, or what religion are you? Oh, well, you better say the words right now. We're there now. Companies are doing it. Otherwise, they're facing either being like completely eviscerated by the small minorities, just vocal, going like, oh, well, that's hate then. Like how this company. It's ridiculous.
But then what? Even though that is happening,
orthodoxy.
Even though that is happening slightly with these companies, I think the Bud Light situation has shown that there is a point where people are getting to that we're kind of hurtful of this culture. Target is experiencing it as well.
If you were at any point an optimistic human being, which I am not, I'm a realist. The best we can hope for is that we experience socially, not so much technologically and with the arts and medically, but socially, we at some point experience a renaissance. I don't know if it will happen. What I mean by renaissance is, for example, you had the Middle Ages. Obviously, I am simplifying a lot now, but by the 15th century, when we start kicking in with the Renaissance, there was a focus moving away from religious dogma. In this case, we can refer to this as a social religious dogma in the time we live now, and there was a more focus on the arts and the sciences, and there was a movement away from religious type of thinking to a different type of critical thinking. So the best we can hope for is that hopefully we might experience a social renaissance where certain individuals and later on the larger public and humanity also starts moving towards a more critical way of thinking, but socially. But I don't know if it will happen, and if it does happen, I'm not sure whether it will be a lifetime. It will take another. Okay, the time of speed that time now moves technologically and socially, it would probably still have to be. It won't be centuries, but it would have to be still a couple of decades, maybe even after us. But that's the hope. Whether it will actually happen, I don't know. I don't believe so. I'm basically working on history here.
I think there is some level of pushback that's going to happen because we're already seeing it, and I think you know the majority of the population on Earth do not buy into wokeness, and that's just a fact. The population that are woke in comparison to the world is a very, very, very tiny percentage of the population, and their voices are only magnified because of big corporate who think and are incentivized to support it. If they weren't incentivized, perhaps things would be different. I don't know. Hollywood also is to blame, media is to blame, social media, all that stuff. But it's mainly in the West. And if you look at places like India or China or Russia, not as big of a, not a thing there. Not as much.
The thing is using the minority argument, but unfortunately, the minority argument stretches to medieval or mid-century Europe, where the Catholic Church and the Inquisition were the minority, and big corporate was just simply were royal families and kingdoms and fiefdoms and whatnot. So you still had a minority dictating, in this case, a very religion-based religious dogma, where you now still have a minority. Royal families and kingdoms have been replaced by corporations. The Inquisition has been replaced by every Tom, Dick, and Harry on social media. So
Yeah, look, I'm not saying that the minority isn't going to try and dictate, but my point is that it's not working. Because the reality is that as much as the minority wants to try and dictate and push and shove and all that stuff and might have control of the media and blah, blah, it's not working. And I think Bud Light is a very good example of that. They thought they were winning. They thought that this was good. They thought pushing this woke ideology would be a good thing. But they're starting to see that it's actually not working. And I think that's the point. I think the majority of people are actually very tolerant. I think a lot of people were just like, okay, whatever, and then eventually, the last straw was drawn, and that was Bud Light. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but it was, and here we are.
I'm going to agree with that, but I think it's more of a case of, okay, yeah, tolerance to a certain extent. There's a limit to how good tolerance can be. But I think the second issue is, and I think hopefully that is one of the saving graces, is I think people have, in 2023, being between the age of 25 and 45, we have larger problems, whether you are heterosexual or homosexual, or even a normal, when I say normal in the sense of just a rational thinking, for example, person who's transgender, we have larger issues at hand. For example, 50 years ago, if you were middle class, to own a home, in theory, home ownership, buying a house would be 3 times your yearly salary.
Yep.
In 2023, owning a home is almost 14 times what an average middle class yearly salary is. So things like home ownership and trying to earn a middle class salary, but still struggling to have enough fuel in your car and enough food in your cupboards and have enough clothes in your car. Those are the things that the majority of people will be spending more of their time and issues on. Hoping that the property bubble at some point fucking bursts, and that, as much as I do praise capitalism, that the ultra 1% do need to slightly pay more taxes and stop trying to avoid tax as much as possible. At some point, the majority will go, hopefully, listen, it's not that your rights or what you feel is invalid. It's just we're not going to focus on that because we actually have more daily trying to survive and breathe and eat fucking issues that we need to focus on.
Yep.
the public forum that you are using is not really the right place to do this, because there are other issues we are trying to tackle that are a lot more important than your feelings, because I don't want to call you an earthworm.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
Simple.
But
Anyway,
it's an interesting. Here's my interesting. Here's my thing. I think is interesting about this is that the same. So where is this coming from? You mentioned it's coming from the West, right? This is India, China, lots of places. Most places in Africa are not what you consider woke by any definition, right? So it's coming from there, and yet those are also the people that would um, call out the evils of colonialism and all that kind of stuff as well. Like that, that England imposed itself on so many parts of the world, and other places imposed themselves. Of course, usually leaving out other kinds of colonialism or conquest from other places besides the West, because everybody did it, but to some extent. But the British did it the most. So they but then they also look at places like Uganda or whatever, and they go and and they're ignorant, and we need to teach them better. So they're they're basically wanting to socially colonize the rest of the world. They're saying, but you're ignorant, poor people, and we know better, and we're going to spread that. Now, is that, you could say, doesn't that look a lot like maybe like what was economically being done back in the you can't say that. You should not point at that. Do not look at it. Do not look behind the curtain, because
Yeah, but
it is
you
it is
see
not
this,
real.
you see this even with like the English white South African, the liberal, I should say, liberal English white South African, the English who want to speak on behalf of black people, and say like, oh, but you should,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like if something racist happens and the liberal white wants to come in and say like, whoa, 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 this black person should feel this way because they don't understand what this other person has said to them.
Yeah.
It's like, and the black person's just like, dude, that wasn't racist. I don't know what you're talking about. This
Yeah,
guy's
they
my
don't
friend.
understand. Thanks for
Yeah.
telling me. Thanks for
It's
explaining.
like, and that is so demeaning in itself. But it's again, it's that controlling
We had
thing.
It's
we had
condescending.
this conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had this conversation 2 years ago where I said that the greatest failure or the greatest detriment to any liberal-minded movement is the middle-class white woman of suburbia.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it is. It is. You might actually have a person of a certain ethnicity or identifies a certain thing that is truly feeling some form of, I wouldn't say oppression, but they get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
And they should be given a voice. If you are being mistreated and it's fairly proven that you are being mistreated, you have a right to
Yeah.
speak about it.
Absolutely.
The whole
But I don't
terminology
think anybody has a
of-
problem with that.
No, and that's why we said when we had this initial discussion 2 years ago, you and I and Oba and Vanner and Peter,
Yeah.
and when we did that series, we went, the idea of canceling someone on a platform initially was not problematic. If you had someone in a public space of authority value, whether that's socially or economically or whatever, and they were literally and genuinely proven to be an asshole, then yes, let's remove them from that publicly viewable position, because you don't want that as an influence in society. That's absolutely great. The whole idea of being woke was initially meant you need to be awakened to the problems of others. Absolutely great. But one of the reasons that started snowballing into a completely different fucking monster, and I'm once again simplifying and targeting one very specific grouping, is fucking middle class white women from suburbia who are well off, heterosexual, very well pampered, but we need to be offended because the other people aren't able to. No, my guy, no, no. It's like in South African context, Tani Sunny now feels that people in color of South Africa, they've been through enough. Okay, that's fair. that's a statement. But now, are you allowed to freely move after 10 o'clock in the evening to wherever you want to? Yes. Okay, so you've not experienced oppression. Do you have a little piece of paper that explains who you are and what you are and what you look like? And every time someone stops you, you have to show them that? No, I don't have that. Oh, okay, so you've never had a family member arrested and then finding out the next morning that in quotation marks they slipped in the shower, they won't be here for next Christmas. No, I haven't. Okay, so now explain to me what gives you the right to speak on behalf of other people who did experience this.
In other words, people who fight the fight should have skin in the game.
Exactly. I think the people that need to fight, I'm not saying you can't support, but don't be their fucking mouthpiece. They can do that on their own.
Fair enough. I could agree with that. That's reasonable. But having said that, does anybody... Mork, you've been extremely quiet. So just before we go, I want to give you an opportunity to say something.
Fuck all of y'all. I'm going to bed.
He's getting his rag doll.
I'm ordering Ragdoll online now because it's like that's the only thing I can do.
161 pounds. That's what they go for.
Yep.
They're quite cheap. If you order them here and like from like the little small Afrikaans towns, the tannies, they make them for $20, eh? You can have shitloads of them.
And it's usually at a church bazaar. Church bazaar, my guy. Every Christmas.
Tracy
for
Wolf
like
wants
5
to know,
weeks.
Mikhail, are you referring to the bored soccer moms?
Yes.
Yes, they're the ones that fucking started it because the pool boy didn't arrive on time and now they need to find something else to fucking do. Not that I have any strong feelings about this whatsoever.
Personal experience.
All right, Mork, nothing, Darth Sif, nothing to add? Nothing
No,
to
not
say?
really. I mean, I think you guys were on the right thing. It's just like, what's that saying that they say for evil to triumph, good men need do nothing? And I think that's kind of where we are. It's like we've got this scenario of these things spiraling out of control where truth seems to be there's no value. And like what Mikhail was talking about earlier on was like that thing that changed was the Enlightenment, where we went, we're going to pursue truth. And now it's like, truth is now taking a backseat. So we need to start pursuing truth again. What is truth? Is this real? Like, and go like, truth means more than feelings. Sorry.
Yeah.
In the words of the 40K, the imperial truth.
Yeah.
For the God Emperor.
Paul?
No, I just like I think that's it. I think the big thing for me, that to speak to what Mikhail said, is that they people want they want to be fighting a good fight, right? So if somebody feels like there's injustice in the world, it needs to be like as big as it was in the 60s in America when they were fighting against for civil rights or whatever. So now, even though you'd be hard pressed to point to actual oppression, like actual, and okay, that's oppression. Like you'd actually be very difficult to find it. But when they have to search for it, and when they find something that's maybe slightly oppressive, maybe, then they have to fight for it as if it were this big civil rights issue, right? So the Democrats do this all the time in the States. With always, it's a new Jim Crow law. Well, it just inhibits voting, maybe, arguably, slightly, or it maybe just makes it slightly less easy. It still doesn't inhibit it. It just makes it slightly less easy. Whatever, doesn't matter. It's just as bad as everything that they ever did before. So people are finding this stuff, and they have to make it bigger so that they can feel like they're fighting this big fight, rather than feeling like, actually, it's pretty cool, guys. We have actually won on most everything.
Very true.
And if
This is very, very good.
The thing that I just find something is and the world as we know it, there is still oppression, but I don't see anyone from the middle class homes travel to North Korea or what we used to refer to as Burma, or no one is getting on a plane and going to Afghanistan and protesting against the Taliban about the simple right that women are allowed to go to school and partake in sports. The movement in Iran for women to be able to dress like they did like they did in the 60s before.
Because you're not respecting the culture, Mikhail. You got to respect the culture, otherwise you're an Islamophobe.
No, it's very fucking simple. It's so easy to protest when it's from the comforts of your
Yeah.
fucking couch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Keyboard warriors.
It's easy to protest in and I'm obviously in quotations, but it's so easy to protest in safe white neighborhoods. I'm doing my part. Yeah, but you're not worried about being mugged, are you? No. It's absolutely fine here. Once again, it comes back to the point. The moment I have to put fucking skin in the game,
YouTube is cutting him off.
they apparently all have a really bad rash. And
I heard skin in the game and a bad rash. That was.
yeah,
Is that you put your skin in the wrong game? Is what you're saying?
YouTube
But
was
you
censoring you hard, Makai.
didn't use
Like this guy's
protection
talking too
when
much
you
no,
put
shit.
your skin in the game.
basically, basically it was a case of it's the people that protest from the comfort of their own homes. The moment they ask to actually put skin in the game, to actually sacrifice something,
Yeah.
they have excuses. No, I
Yeah.
can't. It's a Tuesday. I've got things to do. And which is sad because it actually cheapens real issues.
Yeah. But we have to end it
trivialize
here because we've gone way over time.
All right.
So want to thank Papa Dumple and Darth Sif and Tabo Bester's legal counsel for joining me tonight. I want to thank everybody that was in the chats as well. Some old familiar faces. Matthew Dixon was here. 144. Debbie Murray, Gavin Comer, even our robot made an appearance, as well as Leon Van Royen. Haven't seen you in a while. Some new faces also made an appearance. Insidious Anti-Mason. I love that name. Big Kingfish. You're old, but well, you're an old viewer, but you came back. Behave.
You're
Nice to
old.
see you.
Fuck you.
Tracy Wolf. Good to see you.
I'm getting a
again.
mime ability
As
scooter and going somewhere else.
Slippery Pickle, and so much more. If I forgot to mention you, I'm sorry. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully, we will be back next week, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of Comedians Roast the Headlines. Why is everyone wearing their... I feel like I'm out of
There we
place
go.
now.
Yeah, come on, join us.
One
Join
of
the
us,
dark side.
One of us.
Join the dark side.
Why is mine so...
Feel the power.
There we go. Now I'm in.
This fully operational star system.
All right. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out with us. Good night.
Good night.